Let's talk about something that feels almost impossible to find these days: certainty. Not faith, not belief, but pure, verifiable certainty. We're going to lay out a scientific path to get there. So, let's get right into it. Have you ever been asked to accept something just on blind faith? And did you feel this little tug in your gut that something just wasn't right? Well, you're not alone. And there is a very real, very scientific reason for that feeling. And here's the big reveal. That feeling isn't a weakness. It's not a lack of faith. It's a biological feature. Your brain is an incredibly powerful machine built for logic and consistency, and it's literally sending you an error message. So let's pop the hood and look at the wiring. That sense of doubt you feel isn't just some vague emotion. Nope, it's a high-tech, built-in alarm system. This is the neuroscience of how we form our beliefs. The fancy term for it is cognitive dissonance. But let's ditch the textbook definition for a second. Think of it as the check engine light on your brain's dashboard. It flicks on the second your beliefs crash into hard logic or observable reality. And I want to be crystal clear here. We are leaving the world of philosophy and we are stepping right into the lab. We're talking about real, physical processes happening inside your head. In fact, scientists have pinpointed the exact network that manages this. There are three main players on the team: the Anterior Cingulate Cortex, or ACC, the Insula, and the prefrontal cortex, the PFC. Let's see what each of them does. First up is the ACC. This is your brain's smoke detector. It's constantly scanning for conflicts, for things that just don't add up. The moment it detects a logical contradiction, bam, it sounds a system-wide alarm. Okay, so an alarm goes off. But how do you feel it? That's the Insula's job. The Insula is what translates that purely logical alarm from the ACC into that deep, physical, gut punch feeling of discomfort. It's your biology screaming, hey, something's off here. So the alarm is blaring. You feel it in your gut. Now what? Well, the CEO of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, jumps into action. Its main job is damage control. It scrambles to find any excuse, any rationalization, to shut that annoying alarm off. But here's the catch. This whole process of rationalizing, of forcing a square peg into a round hole, it burns a ton of mental energy. It's stressful, it's exhausting, and it's totally unsustainable. Your brain is built for efficiency, and living with a contradiction is the most inefficient thing it can do. Okay, so we get the internal alarm, but what's setting it off in the first place? Often, the problem isn't inside you at all. It's the data you're being fed. This brings us to the external problem, the signal versus the noise. This is probably the most important concept we'll cover. You have the primary signal, that's the raw original data, the pure stuff, and then you have the secondary noise. That's all the human commentary, interpretation, and opinion layered on top. And every single layer introduces a chance for error. And you can see how fast this happens. Just one layer of interpretation, one person explaining the original data, and you've already introduced noise, bias, context, simple mistakes. They start to corrupt the pure signal right away. And it gets worse over time. It's like a game of telephone. You start with a perfectly clear signal. The first person to repeat it adds a little bit of noise. After generations and generations of people interpreting the last person's interpretation, well, the original signal is basically buried under a mountain of noise. Which leads to a really crucial question you have to ask yourself. Are your beliefs built on the original source, or are they built on what generations of other people have said about the source? Because from a scientific standpoint, those are two completely different things. All right. We know the internal alarm and we know the external problem. So what do we do about it? Now we get to the solution, a clear, scientific method for cutting through all that noise and getting back to the signal. The first tool in our kit is the sufficiency model. And the logic here is just beautiful in its simplicity. If a primary source is truly perfect and complete, it should be able to stand on its own. It shouldn't need 1,000 books to explain what it really means. The truth should be right there, self-evident. So when you add all these external explanations, you're not making the source better. You are literally introducing systemic error. It's like adding a scoop of dirt to a glass of pure water. You're not enhancing it. You are contaminating it. The problem is, this is hard to do because of something called cognitive inertia. It's a mental shortcut. Once a belief system is in place, our brains just kind of stop questioning it to save energy.
We get locked into a cycle of just accepting the inherited noise as fact.
So how do we snap out of it? We need a powerful protocol designed for one thing: radical objectivity. We call it the zero baseline methodology. And it all comes down to this single, devastatingly effective question. It's a thought experiment. Imagine you wiped the slate clean. No tradition, no culture, nothing. If I just gave you the pure primary source data, would you, on your own, come to the exact same conclusions as everyone else? And the answer to that question tells you everything. If your honest answer is no, then the popular consensus isn't an objective truth. It's a cultural artifact. It's a product of history and compounded error. It's just noise. And all of this work, this stripping away of noise, leads to one incredible destination. It's not about losing faith, it's about gaining intellectual autonomy. Because when you finally clear away all the commentary, all the tradition, all the noise, you realize there's only one true path to certainty, and that is protecting the integrity of that one primary signal. So the path is clear. Step 1, listen to that internal alarm. Don't ignore it. Step 2, find the original signal and separate it from the noise. Step 3, test if that signal is truly self-sufficient. Step 4, run the zero baseline test. And the final step? You achieve real, verifiable certainty. And this is the real prize. True certainty isn't a leap of faith. It's a neurological state of peace. It is that profound calm that settles over you when that cognitive dissonance alarm finally switches off, because your beliefs and the verifiable data are in perfect harmony. So I'll leave you with this to think about. Using this scientific framework, is there a belief you're holding on to right now that might not be the signal, but is actually just a whole lot of noise? If this explainer managed to send a clear signal through all the noise out there, please help others find it by liking and sharing.
And for more deep dives with a high signal-to-noise ratio, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for your time.